the molds. And what we're going to do is, bait is going to be a new bait added to my line, and it's going to be called the Rattler. So the chartreuse is ready to go. The pressure, you don't have to do it real hard, just as old. So you want to make sure you have some pressure on it, because the warmer they get them, keep them warm for you. And then we'll be right back with the chartreuse worms. And so what I've got to do is I got to take, so I just make a little, I use my scissors and I just cut the tails off. Just gets remelted down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. Now, next thing what I got to do is I got to take, I'm going to show you something what I do right here. Hope you guys can see that. Stick up a little bit longer, just so I have. Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to be making a rattling stick bait. I'm going to use my 5-inch stick bait molds from itMolds, and what we're going to do is we're going to add some rattles. So we're going to put a little twist to this, or should I say a rattle to this. What I did so far was I shot a clear bait just to show you that the rattles are in there, and you can hear the rattles. So this bait is going to be a new bait added to my line, and it's going to be called the Rattler. So stay with me, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright guys, so there's the itMolds, the stick baits. I call these my pig sticks. And here are the different kinds of rattles that I'm going to add. I have some black rattles, and then I have some clear rattles. So I'm going to show you the process and what I do and how I add the rattles to this. And I'm going to rig this for wacky style. So what I'll be doing is I'll putting 2 rattles in each bait. So stay with me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some plastic for you guys right now. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do some chartreuse tails. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my favorite color, the black and blue flake. But I'm going to add what I call a fire tail. I'm going to add the chartreuse to that. So what I got to do first is I got to mix up some chartreuse. And I got to shoot the bait and then cut the tails out and then reinstall them into the mold. And then I'll add the rattles and I'll shoot the black and blue flake with this here. So stay tuned. We're going to just mix up some colors and we'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to use is some dead-on worm plastic. I'm going to get this over here so you guys can see it. I'm going to add some of the worm plastic. Make sure you mix up your plastic really well to get all the plastisol mixed in there. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to heat it up, and I'm going to add the chartreuse after I get it started. So we're going to heat this up for a second and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so I got the plastic heated up. It still needs a little bit of heat, but I like to pull it out of there and just mix all it in, because the plastisol on the bottom of it needs to get mixed in. And people use a temperature gauge. I prefer using actually a probe temperature gauge to find out, you know, how hot it is, because the lasers just actually get the top of the plastisol. So okay, I'm going to add a bunch of the chartreuse in here. We want to make it pretty solid. So we got the chartreuse. We're going to mix this up, see what we got. That's looking pretty good, but I'm probably still going to add some more to that because it's a little more translucent than I like for the fire tail. And I have baits at fire. I can do all this with any bait, but I'm just shooting the chartreuse. I think it'll look neat with the black and blue flake. So we're going to add a little bit more chartreuse in there, and that should be it. And we're going to just take the colorant and put that off to the side here. And then we're going to continue to mix it up. Let's mix the rest of this, and then we're going to put it back in the microwave for about another 30 or 40 seconds to get it up to temperature, and then we're going to shoot the bait. Now when I make these fire tails, what you got to do is I got to shoot the whole bait and then cut out the tails and then remelt the plastic for the chartreuse. So I actually have to shoot the whole worm bait. So we're going to put this back in for about 30 seconds or 40 seconds, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so while that is heating up, I have some black and blue flake pucks already, so I'm just going to cut up the pucks here to put in and use this plastic up for you. And I'm going to just do this, and I'm going to add some more blue flake to this as well. I think we have just enough plastic here, so we should be good. So I'm cutting this all up, and that's what's nice about the saving your pucks. You can use them later. So I'm going to put this in here. You can see it's all cut up in here, and then once this plastic is done, I'm going to heat this up while I'm shooting the tail, because it's important to keep everything kind of warm when you're doing this. So when I shoot the tail, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually shoot the tails, cut them out, have this ready to go, and then close it back up and shoot the worm itself. So stay with me. Okay guys, so the chartreuse is ready to go. I got my injector, I got my mold in my vise, and I'm going to take a full injector, and then I'm going to shoot the bait, push down. Give it about 10 seconds of constant pressure. You don't have to do it real hard, just as long as you have a little bit of pressure on this to make that cavity full. Now these molds are cold, so you want to make sure you have some pressure on it, because the warmer they get, the better they shoot actually. What you can do is you can actually put your molds on a hot plate to keep them warm for you while you're doing this process. Okay, so we're going to fill the sprue up, and then we're going to shoot the rest back into the cup, and then we'll be right back with the chartreuse worms. So what I also wanted to show you guys is you can see the rattle right here, and that is to insert into a soft plastic. Okay, so see this little nib here that you can see? What I do is I take a scissors and I cut that little nib off so it's rounded, so it shoots a little better. I found that if you have that on there, this little piece here, that it will cause an air pocket in there, and you don't get a good bait that way. So I'm going to cut all these off. The black plastic is almost done heating, and then I'm going to take these out of the mold here, and I'm going to cut these up for you. So let me finish cutting the rattles off, and then I'll show you exactly how I do things. Okay, so I'm going to pull these out of here. You can see all the chartreuse is all in here, and so what I've got to do is I got to take these out, and I got to cut the tails off of them. So I just make a little, I use my scissors and I just cut the tails off, try to keep them all fairly even. So I take them off, and I want to keep them in a mold, because I just don't like taking them out of the mold and putting them back in. Okay, the black plastic is done, so let me just take these out and cut them, and we're going to place them back into the mold. And then this right here will all get reshot again. So let me lay that in the mold. Like that. Come on. Okay, then that goes back that way. So they're all in there, and then this just gets remelted down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut them up into the cup there. These are all ready to go. Now, next thing what I got to do is I got to take the plastic out of here. I got to mix it up. It looks like it's done, and I'm going to show you something what I do right here. Hope you guys can see that. Okay, so we got the black plastic in here. I'm going to actually add, while we're here, some of the blue. I'm going to add a little more blue flake to this, because I like a lot of blue flake in mine. So we got the blue flake added in. We're going to mix that in as well. You can see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the blue flake's in there. Black and blue flake, which looks really good. And actually, I am going to heat this plastic up a little bit longer, just so I have it at the right temperature and the right consistency. So I'm going to put it in for 30 more seconds, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so the plastic is ready to go. Now I'm going to show you what I need to do here. I'm going to put this black plastic off to the side, put my mixing spoon down, pull the pull this over, you can see that the baits are in there. Now what I do is I take a stick, one of my metal rods, and I add a little bit of plastic to here, okay? So I just take this and I add the black plastic in here. I'll pull that other stuff off. You can see it in a second here. Okay, so I add that in there. It gets a little sloppy. And all this does is this will allow the rattle to stay in place. So we're going to add the rattles to that so they stay in place. And you're going to add some more to it right there. Put the rattle in, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. I'm going to add some more plastic over here though, but it gets a little sloppy. But you can take all that off. Okay, so there's another rattle. Another rattle in there. You got to place them all up nice. Oh, I dripped it everywhere. Okay, put that rattle in there. It's a nice thing about it though, you can actually take it off. I can cut all the plastic off of that. Okay, we're going to take this one out real quick here because I got some black plastic on there. Okay, put that back in like so. We're going to take this one out. I got some black plastic on there that I don't want on there. Okay, so we're going to put them in place just like so. Take out all these little bits that are in there off of there, like so. Okay, so there is all of the rattles, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close this up, turn it over, I'm going to put it in the vise, and then we're going to shoot the black and blue flake. So let me get this out of here. This should still be good here. Let me move this. Let me get this set up and we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to take a full injector of the black, and I'm going to shoot the bait. I'm going to put constant pressure on because I want to get that around the rattle and all those little voids, so I have a little bit more pressure on this one. And I'll hold it for about 10 seconds as well. And then I will fill up the sprue, shoot the rest in, and I will be right back with the results. Okay, so I'm going to set this down here, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to open this up for you guys to see how they shot. Now, they don't always shoot perfect, but it seems like these ones did. And you could hear all the rattles in there, so that's really cool. So let me cut these off right here, and I will show you the baits. There you go. Whoop, I dropped one. That's okay. So here are the rattlers. That's the black and blue. Alright guys, we'll be right back. And what I wanted to mention, guys, this is rigged, the two rattles that I put in here, it's rigged for wacky style. If anybody wants anything with the, you can rig them Texas style, but you would have to put the rattle in the back. Because the hook would be in the front. So this is, the rattles are in here. This is for wacky style. I just want to clear that up with everybody that's watching. But the two rattles are on each side of here, so you can rig it wacky style. Like I said, you can rig it Texas style, but I would put the rattle in the back of the bait, not the front of the bait, so you can hook the bait through there. So I just wanted to clear it up for you guys. Thank you. What's happening, YouTube? I just want to let you guys know that this is a watch and win video. Whenever you see this symbol in my thumbnail, that means you can win a pack of my baits or something else. In this case, you're going to be winning a pack of my chartreuse pepper 5-inch pig sticks. And what you got to do is you got to go back to the video, see where my off the hook logo right here pops up somewhere in the video, put the timestamp in, and you'll be entered to win a pack of my chartreuse pig sticks. Thank you. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's a little labor intensive to make these, but I wanted to do something a little different and shoot my stick baits with rattles in it. These are going to be on my website at offthehookoutdoors.us. It's going to be linked right here down below. So here is the bait. It looks really good. It's the black and blue flake, and you can hear all the rattles, which is really cool. And I'm going to rig this wacky style, and there's many ways that I can make the baits. Yeah, I'm going to put some in my Ned rigs and some other things later on, so keep an eye out for those videos. But I'm going to continue making these, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't, please consider subscribing to my channel. Really appreciate that. I believe we have something for everybody. Go over, check out my descriptions, all my affiliates and partners. I really do appreciate each and every one of those guys that I'm involved with this year. Also, I'd like to thank Jason from JJ Drones. I'd like to thank Chillin' in Indiana Carl. I'd like to thank Dan the Droning Veteran. I'd like to thank Rick from Big Tiny's Outdoors, and I'd also like to thank Keith Doc Reed for sponsoring my channel this month. If anybody's interested in the sponsor packages, please email me. My email's in the description. And like I always say, take a kid fishing or hunting. We're going to preserve our sport and pass it on to future generations, and we will see you.